Hello, this is Armanda from Studio Armanda. I made a crayon caddy. I wanted something to put my crayons in besides the box because they're getting kind of short and I don't like digging for them in the box. I made this with an oatmeal container, an empty one, obviously. I cut it up and I glued jumbo smoothie straws to the outside, and that's what's left of the cardboard container. I cut the jumbo smoothie straws to about an inch, and there you can get them. I think I got them at the IGA. And I didn't really care about the color, I just wanted it colorful. And that's the glue I used, the Beacon Quick Grip, which is really good glue, better than hot glue. I glued that all around the outside edges and on the inside. And that is a salt container that I cut and made a little smaller. And all these sections will fit together. I didn't glue them together, I just set them into each other, if that makes sense. I'm going to paint the bare spots with some black gesso that needs to be used up. It's starting to turn to cement, so I never miss an opportunity to use up the black gesso. Just using regular craft brushes. You can get those anywhere, Walmart, wherever. You don't need to use good brushes. That is a coat hanger, and that is the reason I consider this a fiasco, because I'm not an engineer and somehow that's not balanced right, so when you pick the crayon caddy up, it tilts to one side, no matter what you do. Okay, so I've got the gesso on, everything's painted, and now I'm going to put on some trim, and I've cut these pieces of trim to fit the different sections, and it's just random pieces of trim and lace and rickrack that I have. It's not anything I went out and bought, it's all stuff that I had. And I'm using this Beacon Advanced Craft Glue. It's 3-in-1. It's really nice stuff. It works great for this. I'm using the end of a paintbrush there to spread the glue out a little bit. And this is the other thing that I don't like about this project, is when you put the crayons in, and I should have thought of this, when you put the crayons in, none of the trim shows except for the piece at the bottom, which is kind of a waste, but it looks pretty, so I'm alright with that. I don't mind that so much. And I've sped things up a little bit because really you don't need to see all this boring gluing in real time. Wow. And that, folks, is about the only time you're ever going to see me make a basket. Anyhow, finishing up this trim, I've cut it down to just gluing things on. Least amount of gluing time possible. And that is the last one. Last piece of trim. I think some of the straws were falling out there. I was trying to glue them back in. And here's the finished item. You just have to stack them together and then fill them with crayons. It'll hold 135 crayons. That yarn on the bottom, that's macrame cord that I glued in with hot glue. and that is to keep the crayons from dropping through the straw, obviously. At least I understood that part of engineering. I don't know what I'm taking so long to explain here. Everything fits neatly inside. I did get that right. And here we go, filling it up with crayons. I believe it holds about 135 crayons. And that takes forever to actually fill those up. That's kind of another problem because every time you want to use it, you're going to have to fill it up and then unfill it. I'm not exactly sure how I would do that, but I like it. I'm happy with it. I think it's pretty. It's just not something I'm going to be bragging about. This is what the bottom looks like with the hanger, and I tried fixing that, but I never could get it to stay straight without hanging lopsided.